course, there's something else that we need to make Merlin such a good show. Any ideas? Merlin? I love you. Apart from Merlin, we need la 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 la. We need music, ladies and gentlemen. So let's please welcome one of the composers of Merlin. Here he is. This is Rowan Stevenson. Rowan. Good to have you here, Rowan. Thank you for coming.
Very good to be here.
How much music do you have to write for just one episode of Merlin?
A lot.
Yeah.
And some of it doesn't get to be put in there because it's not the right music.
Right.
So, but we have something between 30 and 35 minutes of music that usually goes into a show.
Do you use an orchestra?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we use a little bit of orchestra and a little bit of stuff that we do on the computer. Sometimes all computer, sometimes it's all orchestra.
Well, I know you play the piano because we're going to hear you play the piano in a second, but do you play any other instruments and are they used in Merlin?
Yes, I play the clarinet. I played clarinet in an orchestra for a long time, and,
right.
And most of the clarinet that you hear playing, especially in the comedy cues, you know, when Arthur and Merlin are usually taking the mick out of one another.
So if we listen and look at one of those little sequences, we'll be able to hear you play?
You sure will, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, look, we have this piano here. We brought it in specially from Mr. and Mrs. Steinway. Would you mind just getting behind the keys, because we'd love to hear you play. You are writing a lot for action, but you've also got to write a lot of music to go with all the romance.
That's right.
So I think we've got some romantic clips. Could you talk about them first?
Yes, certainly. Well, a good example might be, say, the Lancelot theme.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Initially, that was written for Lancelot being noble and brave, and he's sacrificing himself. So the tune there is... That's Lancelot, the noble, brave one. But in the episode I wrote that tune for, one of the other composers needed to do the romantic bits. And he said, well, right, it was a romantic bit between Lancelot and Gwen, so he needed to use that tune. And this is what he did with it.
It's definitely the twiddles that do it, isn't it? It's the twiddles. I tell you what, why don't we see the same clip twice? The first time, we'll see it, and we'll get you to play the piano, so what you dreamt up, and then we'll see it again with the music as it was played by the orchestra.
This is what I would have done.
Yeah, okay.
I personally think this is the right.
Let's take a look.
Got a bit. What happened while I was staying with you? I'm afraid my father would never understand.
You don't have to explain. Perhaps when you are king, things will be different.
Arthur?
You weren't employed for this particular exercise. Whoa! I bet you're great at parties. Okay, this is what really happened then.
Got a bit. What happened while I was staying with you? I'm afraid my father would never understand.
You don't have to explain. Perhaps when you are king, things will be different.
Arthur?